Hello and welcome to Life is Magical podcast. I'm your host, Srimanju Katragadda, intuitive healer, Akashic Records reader, Hay House author of Connect Your Inner Guidebook, and who believes in experiencing healing and life is magical. Through this show, I'll be sharing my toolbox, which is full of life hacks, tips for rainy days, ways to hold our connections with the inner guide, and much more fun things. Let us begin this journey.
Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome back to another wonderful episode here at Life is Magical. Today I'll be talking about negative emotions and also how to overcome them, or even the not so great feels that we get out of the inner chatterbox that we have. Here today we'll go a little deep dive, maybe have a notes or a journal beside you to take some points down and work towards it. So let's get started. This topic came into my mind as we were doing the weekly meditation and always being positive. It is so hard, and this is where my thoughts went deep down. I was thinking about it many times before. Why is it so challenging to be positive all the time, and why should one always be positive? Life is a package with up and down, 360 degrees with all the curves and everything. So how is it that we need to only be taking a side of being positive and not looking at the other angles in our life? And this is where I realized a couple of years ago, it's not so relevant to be positive. It is more important that you're happy, that you're accepting emotions that you have. I do have my set of chatterbox, my set of downfalls, my set of things that I criticize about, but I do even understand where is it coming from and how I can shift in. It's that thing that I always say, first is to acknowledge the emotion that we are having and then work towards it rather than ignoring and going over the bump and just trying to be on the positive side. Because that's not going to be much balanced, not much even a sturdy one, because you're only seeing the angle of life from one side. You're not witnessing the other side of it. And also, being positive, always be positive. This is kind of a bit pressure as well when you say to someone, because if someone is going through a traumatic situation or has lost a loved one or dealing with cancer or something very deep, when you say be positive, doesn't sink in because they're already in a well of thoughts. But it might be rather much worth when you say, how can I help you? What can I do for you? Is there anything you want me to do or say or be there for you? And that might shift when just saying, be positive. Think about it. If you were in the situations, what would you have loved to hear? And what is that you will take back to other people as well? Just give it a thought. In life as it is, it throws many things at our way. And if we don't allow ourselves to feel these emotions, we cannot heal them. There is always definitely a brighter side to the things, but if you don't look at the dark clouds, how do you appreciate the bright blue clouds, the clear sky? How do you appreciate if you haven't seen the darkness of it? It's just that you need to wait for that storm to pass. And when there is a storm, you need to look into what is your first things that you need to be in that safety net. Have you got yourself protected? Have you got your loved ones with you? Are you taking care of yourself? Are you in a good mindset that you're choosing to be in? So these are the things that we really need to observe and look deep into it. So being positive is impossible. And also, I wouldn't recommend it personally. I mean, like, don't take my word, but sit with your experience and hear what you feel about it and how much pressure is it, right? For the past year and a half, I don't know anyone that has been positive all the time. I have been doing my spiritual work for past 12 years, but yet I have been into my moods. I have been into the low moments over the year. I have found my own harness to come out of it, and I found a way that I'm able to be in a better side, let's say that, and see how I can utilize myself, how I can be of service, what can I do. But I did go into those spaces. But with all the tools and techniques I have gathered over the years, now I don't sit with it for too long. I know I can come out of it, and this is where I want to share few of the tools that has worked for me, are working for me, and also where I'm doing a deep dive and constantly looking out for the things that will help. And if something has helped me, I'm always ready to share as well. So here, let's take a step back, let's think about what are the negative emotions and how do we heal them, and where are these coming from, and what has happened in our lives, and how do we release as well. These are the things that we need to acknowledge first thing before even we surrendering or saying, oh, you should not think, you should not be here, you should be joyful, happy, smiling and everything, But let's begin with the very basic step of it, here. So think about it, what are the negative emotions? How do you feel about it? Have you ever felt miserable, sad, hate, anger, or jealousy? These are some of the things that do weigh us down, because these are heavy terms as you hear them. Also, these are the heavy things that weigh us down, as if you're carrying a kind of a heavy backpack and walking around. That affects our confidence, self-esteem, the way we communicate, the way we speak as well. It's not only right now, but it might have been that you're carrying this weight for a very long time. So think about it. This is the energy weight that you're carrying in, literally equal to the physical weight. And I don't know if you ever noticed it, someone being into the spirituality or being on the joyful side of it, they look happier inside out, because they are doing their work. That's the most important thing. Anytime they are carrying extra weight, they're trying to take it off or release it and try to go lighter. And this is where these negative emotions, thoughts have to be first set. All right, I do know what it is like, So yeah, think about which are the ones. These are not only yours. Think about it. Very called names in school, from your family members or from the society, have you been said why are you so anxious, why are you so hyper, or why are you so afraid of many things, as fear being weighing you down, or why are you so raging with anger, and have you been lonely as well for a long time, and where is that coming from? Has people not been hearing you, or they're not acknowledging you, or you're in a group of people and they don't recognize that you do exist in their lives? So think about what's happening in your current situation. So these are the negative emotions generally come from these triggering events that happen in our lives, or situations, circumstances, and they leave a trauma in our minds that we go back and into that comfort place of self-engaging with ourselves into that deep thought. That weight is so heavy that you feel comfortable of knowing situation. Say, for example, if someone has called me angry, I'm an angry person, and rather than fighting against it and coming out and sharing myself, my choice much easier is to, alright, they're calling me that, I do accept it, I'm an angry person. I accept and move further, which makes me accept that weighted. And that becomes my constant trigger. But the choice is for me to say, no, I'm not. This is my fair point. This is why I feel discomfort about your opinion here, and this is what I don't like about it. So this is a new way of communicating, and this can lead me to discomfort. The new terms that I'm going to talk, the new way that I have to explain to people. It's an effort that comes. Now it is about, am I ready to take this effort and change? Or am I happy being whatever the tagline I'm being given? The choice is mine. Choice is yours. And with that choice, I have chosen to overcome my beliefs of what people have tagged me and worked on it and found my authentic self, my own self of who I am, and what are my triggering points and where are they coming from, and then accepting, are they mine, are they not mine? If so, who has said it? As long as the memory goes backwards, I'm able to go into those answers and get it out. And it made me get into a freedom, less stressed about the things I have no control on. Say, I have no control on who is going to come in my path and say, I'm an angry person or a situation. So it's about I'm just going to be truthful to myself, and my intention is not to hurt anyone, and I'll do my best to express myself in a calm manner. And that's it. That's what I'm in control of. The rest I'm not. So I'm not going to worry and stress myself and weigh myself down. And this is one way you can do it. And that takes a little bit of a deep process and also deep understanding. And you should be surrounded with a soul tribe to do this work. So if you are stuck, someone can bring you out and show you the light. And this is really needed, having those wonderful people in our lives. Yeah. And because these are old emotions, these have a trauma associated or a grief of a loss of yourself. So loss happens that you feel so strong about these negative emotions with the fear, shame, guilt, anger, all these, and we lose our abilities to express ourselves freely. And that's where you notice some people are lost for words, or they are more introvert, or they just silence themselves because they just are tired of speaking up. But that's not the case though. That is not the case. Our natural state is to be happy, and that is who we are. We are born with that. As a baby, you weren't born with all these other emotions. All you need was to give smiles, be happy, be content, and get some attention. That's it. And that is who you are. And it doesn't take much effort. But because we are being pushed down to the other side, now to lift ourselves back from the deep well, this is where our effort is coming in. This is where we are struggling to be more positive or uplift or a growth mindset that we are missing out. There's someone says something to us, we sulk. We pondered about it for months, years. And then at the end, the person has forgotten even they ever mentioned anything to us. Or they didn't mean in the same way as we have thought and wasted all our years, and we haven't even seen the self-worth in ourselves. What a beauty of years wasted, right? Do you relate to this? Have you been in such situations? Has anyone said to you, and you kept thinking about it over and over? Isn't it amazing what our monkey mind does? It can take you to the places where we lose the support, where we lose who we are, and we are left with that vulnerability, and we just need to build ourselves back again. But in this whole process, our identity is lost. It is that mind that plays the games and just pushes us deep. And then the struggle comes in. How to be positive. You go onto the internet. How to be positive, if you type up, you get all these beautiful quotes, reminders. Of course they are inspiring. I have written a book, Connect to Your Inner Guide, so I do know they shift, they change, they move us, but sometimes they don't inspire us in those times. You definitely see them as a hurdle, and even those can be challenging. Like, I remember saying, this person must have been in a good place. Maybe they never felt any deep down hurts. That's the reason they can write all these beautiful things. But until I was in my own journey, I realized, unless you're not hurt, you don't come up with those beautiful quotations. You don't come up into the life reality of those thoughts and the wonders. And here are the things, so one is addressing where it is coming from and connecting to it. The other is then working towards it. Is it really worth to hide your emotion? I say no. If we can't live our life for ourselves, who else are we going to live our lives for, right? So there is no point in hiding your emotions, either the good or the bad, positive, negative, yin and yang, masculine, feminine. Everything has to be balanced and visible as well. Now, this is the step that you can start taking to change, to shift for yourself. Fake your smiles. If you're really upset about it, fake your smiling. By smiling, or even the fakeness that you give in your mind, the mind doesn't know any different. It will believe actually you are happy, and slowly it tries to go inwards as, this person is happy. Let me not go into the deep well now. Let me be bouncing back over. Is that shift that happens? It's also that thought changes by just a simple fake smile. And sometimes what I do is I have my phone, the wallpapers of my happy moments. So that gives me a smile, a fake smile, a good smile. As the brain doesn't know the difference, I try to bring that up through different sides of my brain where we would have compartmentalized, it's like for some people it's the flowers that inspire them and bring the smile. For some it's the babies, for some it's the pets, for some other people it's talking to a friend. So we all have different channels to bring a smile and forget the story that we were telling to ourselves until then. So that's the one thing that you can do. Fake smile. By doing it, just do it right now. You will notice that your face muscles are relaxing. You are so shifting your weight from your shoulders into your body and relaxing. And that's the most important thing to be done. When we are wound up, we need to learn to calm ourselves. Pretending to do this way is not harming you. It's going to benefit you as well. As you acknowledge your emotions, do not blame anyone. Do not blame yourself as well. All right, I just had this emotion. I'm feeling frustrated right now by someone who has triggered me. But it's not them. It's you who was uncomfortable with something. It's coming out. So it is about you owning them and you accepting and releasing it. Okay, I do accept that I'm uncomfortable right now. I'm going to release this emotion and get into my comfort. But before that, I'm just going to understand where this uncomfort is coming from. What is that? It's like, all right, I wrote a blog and someone commented, there is a grammatical mistakes there. I get so uncomfortable because first thing first, I'm not sure if my English is so expressive, even though I had a good education in an English school. But somewhere I doubt myself because it wasn't my first language back in my school days. And that's where, like, when we set ourselves to that boundary of we may not be good enough, anything that comes around that picture will never be good enough. Then it took a lot of courage for me. Alright, mistakes can be done by anyone, even if someone is an English speaking person, if they have dyslexia or if they have a writing skills issues, they're not going to be good at grammar. That's fine then. Someone pointed out to me, thank you for that. I'm just going to correct it. Thank you for sharing that, And this is how the shift has to happen after you acknowledge rather than it pushing you backwards, then you will feel the vibration, your mindset, the vibration changes and you feel becoming more connected to the light inside you. And you thank them, actually. Thank you for raising that. Thank you for telling me that, in a way I have a victory smile or a dance in my mind or I celebrate it. Just becomes much easier. And as such, you can see my voice changing right now. That is how even the situation we can do change it. And you can breathe into it. By breathing in, you just are melting that tension away, and that is the best thing, like shifting and melting the tension away, you are connecting back to your body. And being grateful for those people that are coming and teaching you these valuable lessons. And if these people's situations are not coming into your lives, what is that you're going to learn? Think about how flat your experiences would be, like how your life would be, So definitely these people are coming in and teaching you so many wonderful things, So start appreciating all your the thoughts, the processes that you're going through. Now, the fake smile is great to shift everything. Also, you can have, for me, sticky notes are the best things, or decals are the best things that I go by. I have my sticky notes right in front of me. I have a sticky note saying, I love and accept me for me. I deserve to enjoy life and its pleasure. And these are the reminders that I need to hear whenever I see them. Right in front of my computer, these are the ones, and I'll be shifting up if I need something else. If I see they're not doing anything for me, I'll just write new things down, So having these precious images, constant reminders, help us to hook onto the better side of our mind. And when we are on the other side, it just gently lifts up. It's not rather than not going there, but if I'm there, I'm just going to come out of it much ease, And life need not be so hard as we make it, Life is something that you get an opportunity to live by once with this same body, with the same consciousness. So living it fully is so vital and so important as well, So it's about us how we make the most of it and pausing, thinking, and speaking from that balanced tone is so important. If you have noticed, if someone asks a tricky question, if you pause, your mind will process and will have a better answer, better resolution, and you can speak with a balanced tone. Or if there is an argument happening in the family, I generally try to walk out of the room, get some water, and connect back into that family space. So my energy is shifted and I can have a better conversation. That I have learned over the time, how to engage with it. Because there is some things that you just can't avoid, or these are things that happen. But there is a way you can come out of it. That's the most important thing to remember. In your precious image, have your affirmations, quotes, beautiful pictures, your happy, uplifting moments in your life. I also love watching comedy shows if I'm so upset. I love to go for a drive, connect with the nature, or if I don't feel inspired to do that, then watch a comedy show that has no agenda, It just loosens up my mind. Stand-up comedies, which are quirky things and have nothing to map into my current life. That helps you to change, shift, and divert your attention, because sometimes deep thoughts, deep thinking are not going to give us a solution, because you're so deep inside the problem that we are not able to see any solution, any new ideas, any new inspirations to come out of it, because you're on and on and on thinking the same thing. So disconnecting and connecting back will help us to shift the wavelength and also connect in a better ways. Yeah, I teach this in the kids' schools with the mindfulness activities. If you have a worry, if you have a fear, if you have an anxious moment, imagine it to be in a ball, a football, and you're just kicking out of your head. It's amazing how the kids laugh and try it out, and they feel so good, so shifted, and so relieved as well, because it's like knowing that how much can I control that worry? What is that my objective there? Life is beyond our controls, but that something keeps us going. But don't get stagnant with it, that you need to control everything. Did we control last year? Are we able to control anything this year? No. All you can control, change your situations, change the way you see, change your flexibility, and welcome the life bringing with the new possibilities, new lessons that you're going to learn, and that will help you to push you forward, and that's the most important thing. Yeah. And definitely the negative energies, emotions does affect our health. I always believe the mind and the body are so connected. If there is a physical issue in our body, there is something triggering in our mind as well. So think about how much are we pushing the thought, and where in which part of our body is being affected. At 29, when I had arthritis, I came across this book by Louise Hay, Heal Your Body. And in that you get to see which parts of your body are affected and what are the affirmations to use and what are your thoughts at the time. So I looked into, because my arthritis was so bad in my legs, whole my body, but I was not able to move. So I checked on my knees, what is it? And it said anger. And first I didn't agree with that, me and angry. But then after a while I realized, right, I'm finding everything to be so stagnant. I'm not seeing my life to be a free flow. Everywhere I'm being stuck, coming to a dead end in my life, whatever I try. A lot of things that I was not comfortable with. As a child, it was all coming in magnified way. When I accepted it and I started using the affirmations, and along with Reiki and the growth of the mind and everything, things started getting better. And now if I have any other physical issues to me or my family, first thing is I refer, where are our emotions? What is it saying? How do we address it as well? And that helps us to shift. Think about these emotions are hard crystals. They are sitting in our body. You need to melt them away. You need to release them out. Yeah. If not, they become the chronic stress or hormonal balance. Also, it changes our immunity, the way our body deals with it as well. It just becomes so lethargic, so tired all the time. You just miss the inspiration in your own life. Yeah. So think about it. Which part is your body being connected or disconnected, and how you can shift in. And here I would like to, I'll share the book in the show notes, and also I would share a chakra guided meditation that you can try to send some healing light to these areas. If you're having a physical issue in your body, you can try this meditation, which allows this stagnant energy to be melted and released, and you see a uplift and change in your physical body as well. It's just that, that one gap is what is needed. One change in the frame of mind, and that's it. You will be having much more content side of things. Yeah. So now what I do is definitely I like to set my day on a better side, on a positive set. So I think about 3 things that I'm so grateful for today. By recollecting, any things that I'm so happy about it, go in a nice detailed ways, and that is my affirmations, and that way I'm much more easier, and I try to focus on the present that I can deal with, and that where I'm much organized about it. Yeah, I try to have my soul tribe, my circle of friends who can uplift and hold space for each other, which I have learned to have a boundary of only letting the good vibes come in. Because when you are in a group of people who are only sulking about their energies, about their events, tragic things, over the small things, meaningless things, from my point of view, it's like, this person has given me this particular dress, which I'm not happy about it, or gifted me something that I'm not happy about it. These things are not having much value. And when you keep repeating about it, it just drains the energy around everyone. So I try to keep my circle small and uplifting. So where we are holding the space for each other and shift our own ways. If I have a challenging moment, someone else lifts me up. And if someone has a challenging moment in their lives, I try to hold their space for them and allow them to shift in their own thought. So practicing gratitude and meditation does help. I don't want to be so cliche about it, but meditation is not something that I always tell about for an hour. For me, it's that mindfulness practice, being present, being aware of where you are, finding the peace, breathing into your body, allowing the breath to go in deep into your belly and out. That's it itself. That is amazing that it can shift many perspectives. And being nice to yourself, which is the most important thing as well. It's so important to be nice to you. Because I said, you're going to live with you only once in this lifetime, so better be nice, So this is where engaging in the things that you love about, I love art. So if something is really stuck with me, I'm just going to go and draw and connect back into my soul, and that will help me shift, or hold a crystal, or get a Reiki, or just try to balance with a guided meditation or something, And this helps me to be positive with an optimistic attitude, and absolutely that brings us the success, And don't let yourself accept anxiety and frustrations are just the way of life. They're only part of the life, remember. I know a lot of people feel comfort, feel thinking that they only know how to worry, that's it, nothing else they can do about it. But that's not the life. There is much more beautiful things. You just need to lift your neck a little higher to see what things are around you as well, So that is the so important thing. So here, I would just like to rephrase everything, bring into a recap for you guys to think about it. Firstly, acknowledge them. Acknowledge your thoughts. Don't blame anyone. Thank those thoughts and events or the people, and celebrate that knowingness of where it is coming from, and breathe in. Have a positive images, affirmations, bring in gratitude, fake smile, watch some comedy shows, hold a crystal or get Reiki, or listen to a guided meditation, and ground yourself and practice gratitude for being in the present moment. And these are the things that will definitely shift If nothing else, have a cup of tea with your loved ones. And that again can shift as well. It's such a powerful thing. These simple things we think and take for granted are actually so powerful and intense as well. So begin to enjoy every moment of your life right now. Right now is what you have got in control. Right now is what you can do any change. Not in the past, not in the future. Just now is what you are doing it. So absolutely bring your vibration back to yourself. Spin in and do what you're passionate about it. Bring that smile back in your life. So hope you enjoyed it, and please do leave a comment or a review, which I would love to see if this has been impactful or you got to see a different dimension or learn something new. Love to hear back from you guys. Thank you so much for listening in. Have a wonderful day, evening, wherever you are. Stay safe. Take care. Namaste.
Thank you all for listening in and tuning in to the podcast Life is Magical. I hope you found some good nuggets to move through this week. Want to ask a question? Please email me or stay connected if something resonated or found useful and helpful from this podcast. I love to hear back from you. My email is info@srimanju.com. That is SRIMANJU, which is in the show notes below. Until next week, namaste and good day. Happy magic. Love to you all. Thank you for listening in.